Welcome back. As part of our previous video, we have created the tables and projection views, interface views, and we have published the service also. And in our behavior definition, we have created the two actions and also the determinations. The thing is, I got my trial account expired, so I have to create all the things again. So I have created all the views and the tables exactly with the same name so that you should not be confused. So whatever we have created until that part I have created. So in this video let us continue writing the code for our uploading the excel, how to upload the excel in rap. So before that, we have to navigate to this global class and we have to write the types declaration in the public section. So this is my public section. I have to declare this as a public section and I have to define the type so that it will be applicable for the entire class. Begin of cty excel file. I know the fields whatever are there, which are employee ID, and we have something called as dev ID and dev description, which is of type string, object type, and object name, and we have serial number. So these are the fields I need. So I have created the structure for these things and I will activate this one. Okay, this got activated successfully. So all the code we have to write in our local types. We already know that one. So I will be going into this upload Excel data method where I have to implement the code for uploading the Excel file. I need some data declarations to happen for storing the data and all. So I will declare one reference which is of CL ABAP table DESCR. This will help you to get the data. Based on that, we can get the Excel data, which is the standard which is available already. First one is the table, and second, we need the structure. Since this is the structure, this reference will be different, which is the already available one. Okay, we have done the data declaration. Now we have to read the data whatever we are getting from the keys, which is the derived type. So for that I have to use the EML syntax, read entities of ZIF. Okay, this is not the one. ZCDS. We have to read the one, this one, which is our main view. So I will just copy this one and paste it over here in local mode. If you don't use in local mode, it will give you warning. Entity, and if we do control space, we will be getting the entities here. I wanted to read all the fields whatever are there in this particular entity with corresponding, because the field names are same. And here I will be reading the data from the keys, which is the derived type. So after reading, I have to store it somewhere. So I will be declaring one internal table which is at the runtime. I will declare this one. Okay, we are getting some error here. Yes, there should be some space. So I have declared one internal table which is LT file entity. So whatever we are reading the data, it will be coming into this internal table which is LT file entity. Now, after reading, I wanted to get the first entry which is the attachment one into some variable. Since it is the variable, I will give it as LV. I prefer to do the inline declaration only because no need to declare at the top if we have this flexibility. If we do control space, we have all the fields over here. I wanted to get the attachment field over into a variable, and we have to check if whenever you are uploading a file, definitely you should have an attachment, then only your code should work. So we are checking if the attachment is there or not. Attachment is not initial. This is the normal ABAP code we already know. So after checking if my file, like whenever you are going to upload, you have the attachment or not, you have to read the Excel into some internal table. So for that we need some other data declarations where you will be using some API which is already available. So for that, let us do the data declarations again. LT underscore Excel underscore raw type standard table of. So this one will be of your class type. So I have to go here and copy the class name and give your class name, and we have already declared the types, so we will be getting whenever you give the class name. And for the same thing, we have to declare some temporary internal table also, which is lt excel temp type standard table of. This thing I will declare. First one is the raw one and second is the temporary one. So now, since our data declarations are completed, we'll work on the logic for reading the data from our Excel. So for that, I have to use some API which is already available, which is xevo underscore cp underscore xlsx. So if we just do control space, okay, I have to give some declaration here so that when I do control space, I will get the data, not the data, but the actual methods and all. So here we will be having something called as document, and if I go inside it, we have something called as for file content. So maybe I will just do control space again, and if we do shift plus enter, we got the parameter automatically. Now I have to fill this IV fill content, file content. So the file content will be in the attachment which we have already in the variable, and this should have the capability to read the data, not writing, but to read the data. So now our LO underscore RA will have the LV attachment with the read access. So now I have to read the worksheet. Like whenever you are going to upload the Excel, you will be having different worksheet, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, like that. So first worksheet I have to read now. So for that also I need some inline declaration LO underscore worksheet. From where I have to read means from the above reference only. Get workbook we have, and after workbook we have something called as worksheet. So worksheet we have. So at what which position you have to read that particular worksheet, you will be having some other method. So in that you have to mention the worksheet position, either it is at first position, second position, or something you have to mention. After mentioning, you have to get the pattern and you have to read the data into some internal table. So for that I will declare some other inline declaration. So you have to select the data from using this API, which is xevocpxlx selection. This is the standard API. So from there you have something called as pattern builder, and in the pattern builder you have some method which is simple from to, and from there we have one more method which is get pattern. You have to get the pattern from there. So maybe it will look something odd to you because we are using lot of standard things. These things you may not try to remember, because whenever you are working more on the upload functionality, automatically you will remember all these things. So you, if you can just google or write it out somewhere, you can use it when you have this particular requirement for you. No need to remember all these things. So from there I need the data to be available. So how to get the data? Already I have the worksheet details. Now from there I have some more method which is select, and I have to get the pattern. I already got the pattern into this particular LO pattern, which is the reference. So I will select the pattern, and from there I have row stream, which means I have to read the data by using the row and stream method. And we have something called as operation, and after getting, you have to do write the data into some other particular variable. So where I have to write means, which is my LTXL temp, whatever I have declared earlier at the top. I will end this one. So as of now, I have read the worksheet position and get the pattern, and after getting the pattern and the worksheet, I have got the data into some temporary internal table. So since I got the data into some internal table which is temporary one, I have to get the read access, and I have to do the transformation because that will be in the binary format. So for that I will use the one which I got the reference. From here I will be having something called as set value underscore transformation. Okay, I'm not getting any control space here. There is something wrong. If you are not getting that, let me see why I'm not getting the control space. Okay, I have given the wrong name. That's why I did not got anything. So if I do control space now, I'm getting. So I will do shift enter. So whatever the values you have to pass, you will be getting that. But inside this one, I have to call some more method which is from the API. So for that, I have to give the API which is XEVO and this should have the read access. And inside this one, we will be having the value transformation, and we will be converting string value, and here we have some more interface which is operation, and in that we have operations available which is execute action. So I don't need this one. I will just get the things here only. I have made the transformation, and I have done the read access, and I made that particular transformation to a string value, and executed the operation. Now, as of now, we have got the data into some particular temporary internal table, but I don't know how many columns are there in that particular Excel, because rows we can fill as many we want, but columns it should be fixed. So for getting the columns, we have to use the ones whatever we have defined here. Table and structure, we have referred some standard classes. Those things we have to use here. Get number of columns. So I will be using the ones whichever we have declared already. I will be using the same class TDESR, and we have, I'm getting some, this should be table. There is some issue here. I'm not getting the control space feature here. I'm not sure why. LO underscore, let us see here. Error in assignment. Okay, maybe I will try to type it. Describe by data, and we have some parameter here which is p data. We have to fill it with the internal table data whatever we have. Still we are getting the error. TEDESR. Yes, this is the correct one only. Yes, this should be fine now. There should be some space. So for the same way, we have to get the things for our structure also. Here we have one method which is get table line type, and finally we have to get the columns. The final agenda is to get the number of columns. So we will be getting the number of columns by using this one. We have something called as components here. So we will be getting the the number of components will give you number of columns. S is missing here. So we got the number of components as of now. After getting the component, after getting the columns and the data, we have to validate the data whether it is correct or not, and we have to write the code for uploading that particular whatever the data we have in our Excel file into our entity. So for validating, validate rows, we need some other structure which will declare at the runtime value. I will be using this class, and we have the types here. And as of now, we have our data in our particular internal table, which is the temporary one, temp. And first row I need because I wanted to check whatever the file you are uploading and the types whatever I got, those header values are missing or not. If there is no record, it will give down, so better to use optional here. So I will declare one variable which is has error, so that I will fill this particular variable if there are any errors while validating. As of now, I have mentioned this as above false, but in case whenever we are validating the header, if we found that this is not matching, we will make this particular variable as above true. Maybe we will continue the validation and writing the logic in our next video. So for this video, we will be ending up here, where you got the data using the some APIs and some standard classes where we are referring to. We have defined our types declaration, and we finally got the data, and we got the um, uh, header details, whatever we have, like the field name and all, we got into a structure. I hope this video is useful to you. Please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you found this content useful to you.